Alright, good evening everyone and welcome. This is the quarterfinals for the CSL. This is Maryville versus University of Michigan Ann Arbor. The winner of this one goes to DreamHack in Austin, Texas. I'm Joshua Feck-Esquest. Joining me tonight, not Rapid, it is actually Octavian. Introduce yourself, man. How's it going?
It's going very well. Good to be along. Haven't been on CSL in a little while yet, but I did work with you guys a little while ago.
Yeah.
It's always good to be back. It's a really fun group, really fun community here.
Yeah, and I always appreciate you stepping up here whenever we ask. So thank you very much for that. Or else I would be solo, and nobody wants that because I ramble about the most incoherent things with the caster. I do so even more by myself. Let's get into these picks and bans though. Lee Sin, Echo, and Karma banned out. A lot of focus on the jungle and actually all around mid lane, jungle, and top lane from University of Michigan. While on the other side though, Janet, Gangplank, and Kindred banned out. But we have a first pick, almost instant lock. You have a lot up right now, Octavian, but University of Michigan Ann Arbor, they decide to lock in Severe for 1 Deeg.
I really like that lock-in. As far as AD carry first picks go, it's the only AD carry first pick I would ever take in the current meta. AD carries have become the resident wimps of Summoner's Rift, and picking up Sivir is sort of like a backup plan. If Sivir does end up being dove on by a dozen enemy assassins, then she can at least press R. She can at least speed her team away or towards a fight. She's got utility, so it's a good first pick as far as AD carries go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Yeah, as far as ADCs, like you said, and it's funny because whenever the season started, right, they kind of wanted to buff up ADCs, and it seemed like they were maybe a little bit too powerful, but now tanks are so prevalent that they can't just burst them down, or I guess not. You don't burst anybody as a ADC, but you can't just last through a team fight and poke every one of them down. With 2 or 3 tanks on one team, ADC's relevance is, yeah, like you said, kind of dropped. They're kind of wimpy because of the shift in the meta to big tanks instead of just massive three-man ADCs, or 3 ADC teams, I should say. Yeah, that's what we get now.
And it looks like Michigan is continuing to hedge their bets here. Thresh, Rek'Sai, not really giving too much away as far as team comp, just some really solid picks that can kind of do a lot of different things. The jack of all trades, Thresh, as far as supports go, and Rek'Sai is just sort of a jungle bot. Everything you want in a jungle, Rek'Sai can do.
Yeah, very much so. So being a safe pick over on University of Michigan Ann Arbor. Meanwhile, they have the opportunity to pick, to counterpick their mid lane against Cat God, who's going on the Azir. So you have a little bit of option here. Now, this is going to leave Saskio over on Maryville, University of Maryville, to counterpick in return. But we do have a prototype. That's Prototype on the screen. He goes by Prototype, though. Prototype was taken. So I'm going to call him Prototype because that's what most people know him by. Same with in the mid lane, CKG, that is Cat God. But Prototype, he's actually locked in the Vayne, which we don't see too many of, but in the kind of a tanky meta, if you can play Vayne well, you can do very well on a team.
Yeah, and the other 3 champions that we've seen Maryville pick up are really good alongside of Vayne. People who can disorient the enemy team, people who can cause a lot of chaos, bring a lot of CC and peel to the table. That's exactly what you want to put a Vayne behind. But we do see the Karthus counter pick, I put with a question mark at the end of that word, against Azir. It's certainly a daring pick.
Yeah. I don't know. The Karthus is kind of throwing me. I haven't seen a Karthus in a very long time. One thing we have seen though is Saskio on the Darius. We actually seen him play Darius in the last best of 3 against Maokai, nonetheless, and he just ended up destroying his enemy top laner. We're gonna see if he can repeat this one, repeat it this time. But yeah, the Karthus, that one's questionable. He's definitely gonna have global presence with his team, so you can't argue that. But I guess it is Azir, I don't know, or it just ain't really in this meta against anybody. Karthus definitely a wild card right now.
The thing about this matchup, and they're picking into the matchup, I don't really like it because Karthus' whole shtick is he tries to fight people right up close and personal next to him and land a ton of damage down and basically make it a Pyrrhic victory if it is a victory for the enemy team, where even if you kill the Karthus, you spent so much killing the Karthus and lost so much killing the Karthus that it wasn't worth it. Azir can fire back from a huge distance, but maybe the Karthus pick is in response not to the mid lane here, not for the laning phase, but instead as a response to the bottom lane, where Karthus is actually really, really good against Vayne, as Vayne needs to get relatively close to a team fight, and Karthus can turn that right around to the wall into exhaust and a ton of damage to bring her down quickly.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one works out. We're in a 2-minute delay here. Going to go ahead and shout out some sponsors. Thank you very much, Twitch.tv, for sponsoring us and featuring our matches weekly. Really appreciate that one. Brain Gear, of course. I mean, Brain Gear, that one's one of our newer ones. Scientifically developed 2-ounce formula that provides focus and clarity, so you can get that feel and the long-term brain health benefits and feel good about. So also helps you with your best of 3, Octavian. Not sure if you knew that one. but
a need many people have.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the finals coming up so close. And speaking of finals, speaking of DreamHack, Asus ROG, one of the Republic of Gamers, they're on the screen there. Thank you very much. Asus ROG are the ones actually providing the prize pool and the funding to travel, to take teams to Austin, Texas. So thank you very much, Asus Republic of Gamers. Go check them out on Twitter and thank them for sponsoring CSL and making this all possible. It's at Asus_ROG. Again, my name is Joshua Fekes Quest. I am here with Octavian. We'll be on the Rift in about 1.5 minutes, and catch you later.
She's such a misfit, always ready to brawl. It's like her business, roughing up your friends. The law, there is no difference. If you believe you're strong, she's a bulldozer, making sure you're flat on the ground. She's like a boomerang that never gives up. She flies in circles till she hits you and you're bowed in the dust. So just remember this, when she's chasing you down, face first, you'll be thrown into the proving ground. She'll knock you out. Have you ever really wanted to be a total rebel, flipping tables on the enemy? Did you ever try to further improve how fast you punch people through the roof? Oh, was there ever any certain time when you thought brute force and style combined? Well, I guess now's time to shine, 'cause finally she's here. Here comes mine. As a matter of fact, the best bet one has is to quickly react to the first attack that's aiming for the bones. She'll never go back, just resist. Have you ever really wanted to be a total rebel, flipping tables on the enemy? Did you ever try to further improve how fast you punch people through the roof? Oh, was there ever any certain time when you thought brute force and style combined? Well, I guess now's time to shine, 'cause finally she's here. Here comes
All right, we are in the Rift now. Let me zoom out my camera because I decided to zoom in real quick. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest here with Octavian. All right, man, this is it. This is really exciting. This is a best of 3, of course. But And I'm gonna be able to meet one of these teams in Austin in just like 2 weeks. I'm really excited, Octavian.
Careful, don't spend all your hype on the first game here, Fekes. We still got 2 more to get through.
Man.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
hoping for 2 more.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. And when we get to DreamHack, it's gonna be even greater because there's gonna be so much electricity in the air. I mean, I'm not gonna lose my hype from now until then. After then, definitely, because I think once I get a DreamHack and all that's done, I'll probably finally wind down and maybe become a human again. But we have a lane swap coming out. Looks like Mick deciding to go to the top lane with 1 and bottom. Should be naming himself top at this moment, but he's going to stick with that name, of course. And we have a double jungle as well coming out from Mick. So, what do you think of this lane swap right now?
I really actually like it quite a bit from the side of Michigan because Darius is a great pick into Maokai, and well, now he's not into Maokai anymore. I mean, the reason why Darius can get to build full tank and still do all of your health is because he has not only great base values, but he also gets free armor penetration just from putting levels into Apprehend. Now, obviously, he's not going to be leveling Apprehend first, but getting a little bit of free armor penetration against a Maokai, on top of having good base damage and maybe building some armor pen, would have meant that Darius would have had a really easy time actually shredding through Maokai's health, which is not a simple task. So putting him up against a 1v2 will help a long way towards shutting down Saskio.
Yeah, very much agree. And yeah, Saskio, he's, like I said, did really, really well against the Maokai. I think it was last week I think I casted them, or maybe it was last Saturday because I had an impromptu game on Saturday. But no, it doesn't matter. Last Maokai we saw him go up against, did phenomenal against him. So, yeah, very wisely played. Michigan have done their homework, but I mean, you still have some of these lanes, like some of them, I mean, Maryville, they're still on some of the really good players here. Cat God, he's very versatile in the mid lane. You can't really go wrong. Prototype, he's on Vayne. He likes Vayne. And actually, if you notice, one of the things about Vayne is you duel a lot. And Prototype, he's one of those ADCs, one of the rare ADCs that takes exhaust instead of heal. He lets his support take heal because he really enjoys dueling. And he likes to determine when to hit the exhaust, but may have a gank in the top lane here.
Papa Chow's gonna sniff out this dive and drop a pink ward over the wall. An investment of a pink ward to keep your top laner alive is worth it, but that's if they still don't go for the dive here.
This is pretty risky. It's still early.
Yeah, Chody Walrus is coming in for some backup as well. Julius is gonna get knocked backwards under the turret. Down below half health, the hook flies out and does not land. And it looks like tensions will dissolve as Michigan gets chased away from a top lane dive.
Yeah, very well scouted by Maryville. Could have went so much more worse, and yeah, it's risky to dive underneath the turret that early, because these turret shots hurt an incredible amount, and they don't have that much in the way of actually, I don't think they have any way of, I guess, rotating the turret shots outside of just walking outside of its range. So they don't have an Elise on their team to, like, you know, repel and take the turret shots, the turret aggro off of them. So it was best that they didn't dive there. I think if it were just Saskio, they probably could have managed it, but with Chody Walrus and Papa Chow going into the top lane, definitely best not to even attempt that one. It was a nice, like I said, nice play, nice read by Maryville.
And a small thing here, but an interesting thing nonetheless, is the difference in first back purchases for these 80 carries. ID opts into buying a cull, which I think was the right call here because they're gonna be sitting in these lanes just basically free farming unless... Oh no, this is why. The side of Maryville is swapping back the lane. They're trying to catch the 2v2 here. So they're trying to get the ideal lanes back for them, and that's why we see Vayne pick up a double Doran's, because Prototype, or Prototype,
correct, is
going to be maybe looking for a 2v2 here.
Yeah, definitely going to favor them if they can make this work. And Papa Chow, he's on Alistar. You can rarely have a better support on with a Vayne than an Alistar. Alistar works very well at keeping Vayne protected. Also sets up some very nice condemn plays as well. Very nice tumble from Prototype. But yeah, and also, I mean, the call definitely makes sense on a Severe no matter what, considering how much Severe farms. You can shove that wave extremely quick. Even at early levels, once you get to about level 5, you can start shoving that wave extremely quick once you get an extra level into your either Boomerang or Ricochet, however they go these days. Which I think you can actually... Some people do go both. I don't know what 1D is going. We'll talk about that in a second here.
Yeah,
A lot of aggression.
there's a little bit of a gold lead here building up now for Maryville, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to this mid lane. In a lane swap situation like this, mid lane becomes kind of an island, where top lane gets a lot of the focus. Ooh, Papa Chow getting hooked backwards, though. He's going to be coming in anyways. He's opting into this fight. The third proc of Silver Bolts, pardon me. We'll get some good damage back onto Deeg. As Papa Chow, I don't know if he's baiting here. I think Bottom and Deeg certainly think he is, because they could have gone on that, but they probably assumed Gragas was waiting in the wings, which he is.
Oh, yeah, now it's Chody Walrus.
Oh, the Flay doesn't quite interrupt Papa Chow. Bottom is in a lot of trouble. He's forced to flash into the safety of his turret, and the hook flying back will not connect.
So again, nice placement by Chody Walrus, and Bottom, as Flash is down, so that might be an opportunity later on for Maryville if they want to try to gank into this top lane. Julius is hanging out in the top as well, but I don't think he's going to be able to get too much, especially with Bottom holding such a low health bar. Prototype could easily take him out if Papa Chow lands the proper knockup pulverized combination, but this mid lane is actually interesting. So the Grot has not died yet, which, I mean, obviously it's the goal, but surprising considering how much damage he took earlier. And the thing about Karthus, as long as you get that tier, you have a late game going. If you get the tier early enough, you can get that late game going as earlier than later. And just spam those Qs. You're actually in a not horrible position. He can just wait for the wave to get to a turret, and Karthus can actually farm underneath the turret pretty easily. But hold on, flash.
Dangerous. Papa Chow going to be flashing in. The exhaust dropped as well. Both sides burned almost immediately from Alistair. Chody Walrus still around the corner. Now Bottom, flashless, is in some trouble. Prototype was trying to line up the condemn there, but Bottom positioned nicely to avoid it. Papa Chow getting hooked under the turret will go down for first blood as Deeg picks it up on the turnaround.
Yeah,
Very nice positioning from Bottom to avoid that condemn.
Deeg on that, also to his credit there, had a very nice spell shield to block the condemn and keep him in position to where he could actually, and that also took out the CC from Prototype.
Condemn wasn't up.
What's up?
Condemn wasn't up then. Bottom was just Bottom was positioning so to not be close enough to the wall that Prototype could condemn him, but condemn wasn't even up, so I suppose that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I mean, it'll happen pretty fast, but it was still a very nice hook from Bottom to secure the first blood over 4-1 Deeg. So University of Michigan Ann Arbor taking advantage in that top lane early on, and that's not how you want to start out, obviously. Grot going to be taking the blue buff as well, so he's going to be spamming that tier as much as possible. And
this Karthus will keep stacking up. Azir isn't too shabby in the late game either, though. I think that matchup is relatively even, actually. They do very similar things, come to think of it.
Especially in choke points. Choke points, both of them are very dangerous. It's gonna be interesting to see if this game goes on that long. It's gonna be really interesting to see who comes out on top. Cat God, like I said, he's a very renowned mid laner, but Grot, I mean, University of Michigan Ann Arbor, they're in the quarterfinals for a reason. They've actually only dropped one game so far in this whole season for CSL, so they have a lot of recognition to their credit as well. Maryville, they are big giants, a lot of hype behind them, but there's a couple teams out there that can still contend with them, and University of Michigan Ann Arbor going to try to be one of those teams. But yeah, spotted out, Chody Walrus.
The spider senses were tingling.
Yeah, it's just little things like that. It's very important in these late games, these I guess late tournament games here. Hold on, Bottom gonna try to go in but get condemned back, so gonna go back in anyways though. Missed the death sentence, but yeah, it's still relatively even in the bot lane. Prototype, he's staying up in farm. He did lose out on the first blood gold though, so that is going to be a detriment to him, but shouldn't be too bad as the Vayne obviously will scale pretty hard as long as he doesn't keep dying.
With only one summoner left between these two laners up here in topside for Maryville, I don't think they can play too aggressive for the next few minutes. So there's going to be some pressure relieved up here. Or perhaps there'll be pressure gained for the side of Michigan, as maybe they could go for a gank. The lane's not quite in a good place for that yet, but Rek'Sai is on the top side of the map.
Let's see what he's going to be trying out here. Yeah, there's so much vision for University of Michigan Ann Arbor around the top side. It is so hard for Chody Walrus to get up there to gank, and Julius just took the Rift Scuddler, so it's actually even harder now. They are doing a great job protecting their top lane, which...
Speaking of Julius, though, he's coming into mid lane here. Cat God gets hit by the Prey Seeker, but doesn't quite get hit by the Wall of Pain, so he's going to be out of there. Even if it had connected, it's hard to slow in his ear when he can just dash away like that.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of trading going on in the top lane. Hold on, Papa Chow going in.
Prototype dangerously low, but there is no exhaust for the side of Michigan's duo lane. The dual beacons of teleport shooting up into the sky will both be canceled. As Cat God continues the pressure to the mid.
Yeah, very nice read by Papa Chow and Prototype. They knew exactly what to do. Hold on. More aggression in the
Cat
mid
God
lane.
getting dove into the turret is going to get exhausted. Here's Julius flashing over the wall.
Oh!
Cat God gets the kill before it goes down. He drops the his divide, but Prey Seeker will fly through the wall and take home the kill. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, we have Saskio and Ixkincriel. That is a hard name to pronounce when I'm talking quickly.
Yeah.
In a 1v1. Saskio gets his passive fully stacked, but with all of his abilities down with no further sorts of damage and a little bit too close to the turret, he won't be able to take home the solo kill.
So in mid lane, that's a pretty big win for Cat God. He got the kill. Grot, he was channeling in a very bad position. Cat God got the kill, but Grot lost out on a wave, and he did not get a kill. He only got an assist. So while Julius did get a kill, it's still pretty bad for Michigan's mid lane because he's down almost 20 farm. And that's just going to translate into a decent gold lead for Cat God. He's coming back with his Gnasher's Tooth, which means he's going to hurt and hurt fast with those Sand Soldiers. So Cat God becoming a force in this early game despite going down there.
Speaking of forces in the early game, something I didn't expect to become a force in the early game is this Vayne, who's sitting at 1-0, has a BF sword completed, and oddly enough, Alacrity Berserker's Greaves already. Flash in from Chody Walrus, Grot getting knocked back there by the explosive cast. Cat God is doing massive amounts of damage
Oh,
here,
he can't
but he
get
gets
it.
knocked up by Julius. They don't quite finish off the kill, and Grot turns it around and he gets one for himself.
That was just one auto attack away from being able to take out the Grot. Cat God still would have went down.
You see, when Feke's contacted me to fill in for Rapid here, he promised me exciting gameplay between these teams because we're in the quarterfinals and these are some of the best teams CSL has to offer. And the promise is delivering. These are great skirmishes.
Yeah, and again, Cat God, he was only one auto attack away from taking down the Grot, so very nicely played by the Grot, getting out just in the nick of time. I don't even think he flashed. I don't think he had flash up because he used it in the last exchange, so Cat God misjudging his damage by about 10 health. I didn't even see on how small a health bar he had, but very nice presence from Julius, getting the knock up onto Cat God. That saved his life and got him the kill. But meanwhile, in the top lane here,
Tumble into final hour, bottom getting condemned against the very corner of that wall. Flash and heal burned away. Prototype now tumbling forwards once again is going to bully ID away as well, and more resources burned for the side of Michigan than for the side of Maryville. And they may still get a kill. The Alistair combo comes through. ID now flashing away as a few empowered minion autos don't quite finish him off, but Prototype will gladly do what remained of this Thresh's hit points. Julius now looking for some revenge for his fallen support is gonna not find it and get chased away in the end of a few crossbow bolts.
Man, Prototype on Vayne is so fun, but hold on, more skirmish in the mid lane here.
Yeah, Grot misjudging where Cat God was going to run away to. Takes about an even trade here. But having missed out entirely on the Wall of Pain, still getting an even trade, pardon me, though with Karthus it's probably an evil one as well, is pretty good.
Yeah, that's Grim Reaper Karthus, so yeah, it's very evil, but mid lane is going to go down here. Hold on, Cat God gonna go in.
Emperor's Divide back towards his jungler, and Chody Walrus will take home the kill. Not a sentence I ever expected to say. Ixkincriel now dashing in after a teleport is going to be holding Chody Walrus up for a little bit longer, but Saskio showing up will buy enough time for his jungler to escape. However, Cat God caught out the enemy jungler might actually get out of here with a Shurima shuffle over the Wolf Pit wall. Prey Seeker will not finish him off, at least not this time, and it will force the flash out from Maokai to get the kill on the low health Emperor of Shurima.
Alright, so top lane, it may go down as well. Prototype Black, he's very low on mana. Doesn't have much for Tumble or Condemn, and it looks like Ixkincriel's going to actually back off of that one. What's up?
If they stick around up top, they could be going down.
Yeah. And
they saw them, though. There was a ward in that try.
Yeah, and one of the big things about that is Ixkincriel, he can't afford to be top lane too much. He doesn't have teleport anymore. He used it to get to mid lane. Saskio walks. Saskio has the map presence right now. He can push this bot lane, force Ixkincriel to go into bot lane, and may possibly use his teleport for a gank somewhere else on the map for his team. So we'll see how that one works out. He's actually going to go back with about 1,400 gold in his pocket. So Saskio, he could be going back for something big. I think that's enough for Black Cleaver right now. He is going to go back. He has the corrupting potions as well, so he's going to refill those. Going to be sitting on the level 1 boots, and yeah, there's Black Cleaver. It is finished. So he's going to be hurting quite a bit, even in the against the big tanky Exincriel, who has a Sunfire cape. It's not going to really matter too much when you have a physical damage over time. But hold on, Julius and Chody Walrus hanging out in the mid lane.
Cat God gets hit up by the slow, but of course he does have his dash to escape. And I think I mentioned it in passing earlier, but I would just like to emphasize how much value we're seeing Prototype put onto movement speed. As I said, he's already finished off those Alacrity boots before even finishing a completed item. A lot of players, some AD carries, you won't even see them get Berserker's Greaves until they've finished an item. So that is a lot of value placed there, picking that up so early.
And within about 10 seconds of each other, Maryville picked up 2 turrets and a 3k gold lead just within that small time frame. And this is one thing that that Maryville actually does have with them. With the Azir, they can shove turrets pretty quickly. Sasuke, of course, does have an auto attack reset with the Darius, but the Azir, he's the one that can really shove turrets hard for Maryville. It looks like Sasuke may be in some trouble in the bot lane.
I don't know if Flash is going to save him. There's a lot of targeted CC here. Julius just looking to get underneath him and knock him up into the sky.
Prototype's on the way.
Now going to be apprehending 2 criminals who are trying to gank him. Prototype coming in with the final hour. He's got a lot of extra damage there, tumbling forward. He's very hard to escape. He's got 415 movement speed. This is a Hunter of the Night right here. But there's a lot of tankiness on the opposing side. It looks like they'll get back to the safety of their turret. Meanwhile, Bottom is caught out in his own jungle. And with Cat God around the corner, I don't know if he escapes from this one. Chody Wallace will take home the kill.
And Exhaust was used on that one too. And you don't want to use your Summoner spell when you know you're going to go down. So that is a Summoner spell down for Bottom, which is pretty huge during any kind of skirmish. But hold on, Chody Walrus may be tower diving this one.
That was an interaction I don't think I've ever seen before. Usually when Maokai Twisted advances, he follows enemy mobility, but this time, I guess Chody Walrus didn't quite cast it at the right time, so Maokai showed up where the Gragas used to be.
Well, yeah, I think what it was that he like body slammed it kind of into Exincriel, and he stopped where the two met, but the animation of Chody Walrus's body slam had to finish. So I think that's what happened. Is it just finished, but they actually met halfway in between that.
Very weird.
Yeah,
and something I don't think you really prepare for. That's not the kind of thing you practice going into these games. There will be Dragon going over to the side of Maryville, who are pulling decently far ahead here. You have to take into account that this Vayne is 2-0 already with a CS lead.
Yeah, and this is one thing about Maryville, is that they have not only great laners, but they also have a really good team fight once that gets going as well. So you have to just outplay them from minute number 1. Maryville, they're able to take control of the early game and snowball that into a mid game. Even the slightest of leads, they're able to use and stretch as far as possible. And we're seeing that right now. Last time we casted Maryville, they actually, they had control for most of the game, but they slow bled their opponent for so long. They had control and they kept it, and they did not let that go. Now, that being said, I felt like...
This is going to be the second Rift Herald, by the way, if they didn't get it.
Oh, yeah, because Prototype actually got it the first time. Which, they just give it to him again. We'll see what they decide to do here. They put a lot of emphasis on Prototype, a lot of backup for Prototype, so he's well taken care of on that team. We'll see.
Vayne's a pretty good champion to have a lot of emphasis on.
Yeah, right. And
it looks like they may have caught Grot here.
Oh, he gets slowed
slow
down.
From the barrel.
Sasuke's there, yeah, there's no getting out for him. He has no turret to run to.
He's got the Rylai's to try and slow people up. He can maybe buy some time for the rest of his team to show up. There's a stun against the wall onto the Maokai. Grot does finish off the kill post-mortem onto Prototype, and it will be a 1-for-1.
Yeah, so they do get the Rift Herald off of Prototype and get the slight shutdown. It's not a huge shutdown, but it is a little bit here. Cat God is going to keep himself from being caught, even dodge the death sentence through the wall, but they're being chased.
Yeah, they can continue chasing this down. They've got Sivir and Maokai. They can chase for days. Exincriel is going to get knocked back by the Emperor's Divide after he flashes into the engage. There's Cat God dashing back to the other side of his shield-bearing soldiers. Papa Chow is tanking tons of damage, and happily, he's got Alistar ulti burning. Bottom now knocked up in the air, and it looks like teams will disengage without any kills going down yet, though we may see a tower dive.
Yeah, Sasuke's ultimate was not up. He does not have Noxus Guillotine, but he does have Apprehend. Oh my god.
Those minions, give those minions a pay raise, because they just saved Julius from being CC'd under the turret.
Of course, the only way you can give pay raise to a minion is by getting the Inhibitor or Banner of Command. We'll see if they decide, or actually Baron. You could do that as well. So that maybe want to be an emphasis for University of Michigan, considering how much they just saved them right there. But both
I don't know if
teams-
you really want to give the minions extra gold though, because they're just gonna give it up once they die to the enemy team. You know.
Yeah, you know, I
You
actually
should honestly be taking money away from your minions. To
I
deny the enemy team.
actually wrote a short story that I like still have about minions and their lives and how they just have gold laying around. But
Like,
no, it's I mean they're like creatures too. I don't know if they're not people obviously, but oh they might be.
are
people.
they? Are they not? Come on, don't make these judgments on the fly.
Well, I mean I think Gragas is like a person. He's like
Insight. This is why you watch CSL, for the insights that we have here.
yeah. I remember actually
Papa Chow looking for some vision control.
yeah, Papa Chow needs to be careful though. Or
does
Oh my God!
Be careful. There's the headbutt over the wall into the condemned, but Gratis here an instant exhaust and a knock away onto that Karthus. They're really emphasizing lowering his damage in these fights. Prototype Black over the wall. He's going to be coming back around the corner, but final hour times out before the rest of Michigan even shows up. Papa Chow now with no ulti has to flash away. And it looks like Maryville is doing their best just to try to scatter to the winds here, but Saskia will get caught out.
Oh.
He brings Xencreel over the wall with him, apprehends him backwards. Julius now in the middle of 5 members of the enemy team is going to be playing tank tag with this Maokai. Condemned doesn't quite stun the Maokai, but Saskia is going
Oh,
mad.
Saskia.
There's one ulti. There's a double kill. Can he get the triple? He has the passive here on Xencreel. There's the third. Noxie and Giyatsu doing huge work, and that is going to be the dream scenario for Saskio's Darius.
that was insane. University of Michigan did such a great job rotating their damage, making sure one of them got in and another one got out, and just keeping everyone alive while one Deeg and Grot just fired away from the back lines. But man, Saskio, he had that ultimate up, Saskio rather, he had that ultimate up and just decided to go crazy on them. Very nicely played. And since that's the one thing, if you have low health bars and you're going against a Darius, that's still almost no health because he can just ult you, and that's exactly what Saskio decided to do. Very nicely played, very nice on the timing as well.
You put Darius in the right situation, and the enemy team just is working with 5,000 less health.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Hold on now. Prototype getting chased out here.
Xencreel might be able to make the distance, but
got
as I've said earlier,
got those
Prototype with
boots.
his seal and alacrity boots is so fast.
Yeah. He's
Doesn't even need the Vayne passive. He can run away from enemies too.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's making sure A, he can keep up with anybody he wants to, and B, he can run away from anybody he wants to. So very nicely played, especially with these point and click stuns or roots, just like twisted advances. That's extremely important. People don't really take that into account too much, considering how many skill shot stuns or skill shot roots or skill shot CCs in general there are, which you can sidestep with the alacrity boots anyways. But so much value. Hold on, team fight in the mid lane.
CatGod sees an opportunity and he takes it. That is one dead mid laner. Might be 2 though if CatGod sticks around any longer. Or maybe not. Bottom now getting chased away.
Uh-oh.
The hook does fly out and it lands onto this Azir. But he does not have the backup he thought he did, and Prototype will take home another kill.
And now it's at the point where University of Michigan Ann Arbor, they're picking up, getting picks, and it's not paying off because they don't have enough damage, backup damage, to really make use of it. I mean, you have the Grot, but his damage is not bursty like you really need right here. He's very, let's stay in a team fight for 30 seconds, and I'll just kill you. I'll kill you guys eventually, and if I die, then I might kill you. So the Grot, he's powerful, but he's not the kind of power that University of Michigan needs right now. They need burst, and it's something that they're lacking. What?
Alistair.
Oh yeah, there's
knocked the crap away. It timed so it looked like Gragas knocked him around with his big old hairy belly. But no, it was Alistair.
Yeah. I do like Maryville. Yeah, Maryville, they're kind of trolly sometimes, even to each other. Sometimes gets them in trouble, but they usually find their way out of it. Yeah, no, it's totally good to have fun, and I mean that's kind of what collegiate games all about. I mean, obviously you want to win, but you also want to make sure you can have fun while doing that, and that's what Maryville does. We'll see if UMich can come back from this detriment though, because it is fun to win. And I know University of Michigan, they want to go to Austin. They want to go to DreamHack. Everybody wants to go to DreamHack. DreamHack sounds like a lot of fun. It's because it probably is. I wouldn't know because I've never been to one, but I'm going to be. And one of these teams is also going to be. Papa Chow is hooked, but nothing can really come of it. Because again, they don't have any power. And of course, Papa Chow, he does have the ultimate. He's pretty tanky, so you don't really want to go in on him anyways, Octavian.
Yeah, and on Maryville they had enough damage. I mean, not damage. Pardon me. They had enough vision, which is not the same thing, to realize that that wasn't a full-on engage, so they didn't really need to burn Alistar ult to get away there. But this is certainly a full-on engage. There's the Sivir ulti burned on the hunt.
Oh my God.
Indeed, Cat God getting jumped on, forced to use the ulti, knocks back multiple members of the enemy team over the wall. There's the Rylai slow from the ulti, though. Another powerful displacement burn from the side of Maryville to keep them away, but Maryville split off 3 of their team members, and they are sending them down mid lane to take home not only an inhibitor turret, but also likely this inhibitor. Prototype going to be tumbling into the final hour to avoid the engagement of Xengriel here. Grot now flashing away. Saskio on him, though, and bringing him down is unstoppable. 5-0 Darius play here, doing tons of work. Meanwhile, on the backline, this is Azir now with no fear of a Sivir ulti to engage onto him, is free to do tons of work of his own, and a double kill for Vayne will clinch this one for the side of Maryville, who may even take home the victory.
Yeah, this may be it. There's 3 down for University of Michigan Ann Arbor. One dig is there, but he's going to get knocked up. Papa Chow. Oh yeah, there goes one dig. And last Nexus turret standing, Octavian. This is actually going to be a game. 26 minutes. Maryville, they got control early, did not let go.
What looked like a decently even early game just morphed and evolved into further and further leads for Maryville. And I have a lot of things to say in this game, but we do need to get to the next one. Fekes, I'll toss it over to you.
Of course, and yeah, we're going to get into the game number 2. This is a best of 3. University of Michigan Ann Arbor, they have a chance to bring it back, so we'll see if we can get into a game number 3. But in the meantime, my name is Joshua Fekes Quest. I'm here with Octavian filling in. He is filling in for Reed Rapid Melton, so we will be back in just a moment. Stick around.